Best for last versus the University of Houston. Over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and very athletic and mobile. Had a 30-plus yard scamper for a touchdown in that game.
Tulsa will have the ball first. Their offensive coordinator is Steve Spurrier Jr. Ideally, what does Tulsa want this offense to look like this season?
Yeah, they want to be balanced on offense. And we talked to Steve Spurrier Jr. and Kevin Wilson about that, right? They want to line up in multiple personnel. They want to line up in 12, which is 1 back, 2 tight ends, 11 personnel, 1 back, 1 tight end. Run the football, spread you out, make you defend, and tackle their skill position players in space.
Running back Jordan Ford and wide receiver Camden Benjamin are back deep. We are underway here in Tulsa. After the touchback, the Golden Hurricane will start their opening drive from their own 25-yard line. Braylon Braxton tossed 10 touchdowns last season, just 2 picks, and saved, as you noted, Lige, his best for last. Went for 316 in what was a big win for Tulsa as they took down Houston in the finale.
Really was a big win, and we talked to offensive coordinator Steve Spurrier Jr. about him. He says with Braxton Braylon, the thing about him, we want him to progress when it comes to going through his reads, progression, and knowing where to go with the football.
He'll put it in the belly of Jordan Ford on first down, plods ahead for a couple. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
When we talk to Steve Spurrier Jr., if you look at his history and where he's come from, right? Mississippi State, Washington State, air raid. He was like, nah, we're not running the air raid anymore. We're going to run the football. And you can see it right now. The offensive line trying to establish that run game on the first play.
Braxton to crank it up, and he completes it for a 1st down. Napped by the freshman, Devin Williams.
Nice job by Devin Williams, tempo in this route. Watch the outbreaking right, steps on the DB's toes. Nice accurate pass by Braylon Braxton. That's what you want. You want to be throwing and timing. That back foot hit, he let the ball go.
After a 9-yard completion, it's intercepted. Inside the 20-yard line, Kyrie Williams, the senior from Akron, Ohio, and UAPB has the game's first takeaway.
Nice play call right there by defensive coordinator David Callaway. Get some pressure off the edge from a Nas Lukeman right there. See, he gets that hand up, and then great job by Kyrie Williams getting that interception. It was a bootleg. They wanted to get Braylon Braxton on the edge. Nice job by Kyrie Williams undercutting that pass and getting the interception. That's a big turnover for this APBU defense, right? You're underdog in this game. You want an exciting play to really get your team going, and great job by Kyrie Williams doing that, setting his offense up in the red zone already.
Arkansas Pine Bluff sets up shop in the red zone. Between the tackles, Michael Jamerson gets planted at the 16-yard line after a gain of just 2 by the most veteran player on this Tulsa defense, Kendarren Ray.
Look at the quarterback, Mekhi Higgins. When we talk to the coaching staff about him, they're like, this is a big, tall athlete that is athletic and can really spin the ball. They said he's not really a vocal guy, right? He leads by example. Really excited to see him come out here and play well for this APBU offense.
On 2nd down, he'll take off. Scamper ahead to get down to the 14-yard line. He was a highly touted player out of high school. He's from St. Louis, Missouri, rated as the number 19 player in the state of Missouri. Went to Cisco Community College, sat out last year, but had good numbers in his 9 starts the previous year with 11 touchdowns and just 2 picks.
Yeah, highly touted. I believe was a number 19 player in all the state of Missouri. So APBU got a really good player that was ranked really high. Now he gets his first opportunity in FBS football, and he's looking to score in the red zone off of this turnover.
Spins it. End zone. They'll mark him down at the 1. It's a 1st down on 3rd and 6 as UAPB goes to the air and they connect with receiver Kenji Lewis.
Nice job by the offensive line holding up. He goes to his 2nd read, Kenji Lewis, who wins inside on a slant route and gets a 1st down. Now they're in the low red zone trying to put a touchdown into the end zone.
1st and goal from the 1, and Jamerson is through. Touchdown, UAPB.
That is what you call situational football. You get an interception, right, and you help your defense out. Your defense helps you out. You get in the red zone, and you score 6 instead of kicking a field goal for 3. Nice, tough run right there by Michael Jamerson, lowering his pass down. He met the defender right at the goal line, but he wanted it more. He willed himself into the end zone. That is a big score early in this game for APBU.
Dean Saris on for the point after. 7-0, UAPB. The underdogs strike first. Golden Lions on top here in Tulsa. For Arkansas, Pine Bluff capitalizing on that interception thrown by Tulsa quarterback Braylon Braxton. UAPB head coach Alonzo Hampton told us, Lige, he wants his defense to play fast, high energy, and confident, and already have a takeaway.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did on that first drive. What a big return here.
Ford with some running room. Coughed it up. A mad scramble for the loose pig. UAPB with their second takeaway, this time in special teams. There is a marker.
And Coach Kevin Wilson talked about this, right? He doesn't want to turn the ball over. He wants to take care of the football.
Driven return, holding, from 87, receiving team. That penalty is declined. First down.
Head coach Kevin Wilson was talking about that. This team was -2 in the turnover margin last year, and already 2 turnovers in this game. He wanted to play a clean game and take care of the football. This was a nice return right here by Braylon Presley. A great job chopping at that ball, getting it off, and then a presence of mind right there for APBU to jump on it. Already 2 big turnovers, and the offense is back on the field. Now this Tulsa defense has to stand up tall, because last time when you had a change of offensive possession, they gave up a touchdown. Let's see if they can bow up right here with their backs against the wall.
Kirsten Rogers punched it out for UAPB. Jamerson between the tackles. Nosedives into Tulsa territory to get to the 48 and pick up a couple. Julian Simon makes the tackle from his inside linebacker position.
And if you're head coach Alonzo Hampton, you couldn't wish for a better start to this game, right? Your defense comes out, gets a turnover. You get points off of that turnover, not just a field goal. You get a touchdown. Now you're on the other side of the 50 alpha, another turnover with the possibility to put more points on the board and go up either 10 or 14 points.
On 2nd and 8, Jamerson again between the tackles. No gain on the play. Ben Kapinski made the stop. Let's take a look at tonight's players to watch, brought to you by Regions Bank. For Tulsa, safety Kendaren Ray, and then Braylon Presley on the other side.
Kendaren Ray, a 6-year senior. The coaches talk about him being a gym rat, always in the film room, has over 200 tackles in his Tulsa career. You look at Braylon Presley. He is a guy that's kind of like a Swiss Army knife for the Tulsa offense. They're going to put him in the backfield. He's going to be a receiver. Was highly touted coming out of high school in Oklahoma. They want to get the ball to him in space.
Yeah, they list him as a receiver on their depth chart. Higgins, a missile to the sideline, reeled in at the 39-yard line. Kendaren Ray on the coverage. Maurice Lloyd makes his first catch of the year, the senior from transfer from Laney College out in Oakland, California.
It's also playing a soft zone right here, and nice job by Kenji Lewis just finding a void in the zone. Good job by Makai Higgins. From that back foot hit, he let that ball go on the out route, and they get a completion for a first down.
Some window dressing, Higgins pumping, and it's intercepted by Tulsa off the deflection. Picked off by Kanaya Williams, grad transfer from Oklahoma State, making his presence felt.
And James, it's almost like deja vu. Same play that APBU got an interception on. APBU offense runs the bootleg right here. They're trying to get the crosser coming across the middle, right? Makai Higgins is a little off with the pass, is low, tipped up. We had a saying in football, tips and overthrows, gotta get those. Williams does a good job being in the right place, right time when the ball gets tipped up, and this Tulsa defense gets a much-needed turnover.
Less than 5 minutes into this contest, already 3 turnovers. Some rust to shake off on both sides.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to see that in the first game. Also, missed tackles is something you're going to see in the first game. But you see guys will settle into the game as we go on.
Designed run for quarterback Braylon Braxton. He's hogtied at the 37. Let's take a look at our players to watch for UAPB, brought to you by Regions Bank. Linebacker Rico Dozier and his teammate back there, Tamon Atkins.
Yeah, these are the two linebackers, right? They're the focal point of this defense. Rico Dozier is a guy that led the team in tackles last year, and Tamon Atkins is a captain on this team, one of the leaders.
Braxton gets bent backwards, loses his hat. Flags come flying out after a gain of just 2.
It's interesting because it looked like the APBU defender body kind of hit his helmet and it came off. I'm not sure if that was actually a face mask. And you know, in college, when your helmet comes off, you have to come off the field for one play. So I think the refs are talking about that right now because it didn't look like anybody actually grabbed his face mask. More body contact and the helmet just flew off his head.
Personal foul, face mask, 95. Defense, 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down. Number 1 may remain in the game.
I'll take that back, James. He got a handful of helmet right there. Kendarius Clark fighting off a block, trying to make a play on Braylon Braxton, grabs his helmet, and it comes off. Now, because it was a penalty, Braylon Braxton gets to stay in the game.
On first down, it's a handoff. Trying to cut the corner. It's Bill Jackson, a sophomore who looked good as a freshman last year for this Tulsa team. He led the club in yards per carry at over 6 per tote.
Yeah, nice play call right there. They get Ethan Hall coming around at the tight end position. They pull the guard on a power and a nice tough run by Bill Jackson to get positive yards on first down.
Tulsa going with some tempo after play action. Nowhere to throw it for Braxton. Sets up 3rd down and 6, and that's a veteran play by the sophomore quarterback. Wasn't forcing anything.
Very smart. Already has an interception on that same exact play. Bootleg, getting on the edge. Got an interception when Kyrie Williams undercut the pass. Nobody open downfield. Just throw it away. Live to play another down.
Third down and 6 for the Golden Hurricane. Braxton fires and throws another interception. His 2nd of the game. Laprel Boyd picks it off for UAPB. These teams have combined for 4 turnovers in the first 5 and change of this first quarter.
And one thing you can't do is be late on an out route. Right here, Braylon Braxton is late on his out route, and Laprel makes him pay. Interception, APBU.
St. Pete Clearwater, proud supporter of the American and home to America's best beaches. Find all the action you're looking for at visitstpeteclearwater.com. Our game tonight has featured 16 plays combined, Ligier, and there's been 4 turnovers, 4 first downs between these two clubs. And bad news for Tulsa as they work on the left ankle of their starting quarterback, Braylon Braxton.
Yeah, that's never good when your quarterback is getting spatted up on the sideline. I wonder if that is playing a role in some of the throws he's made, not being able to push off that ankle.
UAPB, Higgins connects in the flat, completes it to Kenji Lewis. That ball is out and recovered by the Golden Hurricane.
And James, we talked about this, right? Both of these teams coming out kind of sluggish. The thing is, you can't practice tackling during training camp. So this is the first time these teams are getting full contact.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Full contact, and as soon as these guys are getting hit, a lot of them are coughing it up. Right there, nice job coming from inside out. A nice job punching at the ball. Mitchell Colkin does a good job in pursuit coming from inside out. And then watch how he rips at this ball. Is it coming loose? Oh, it's tough. Looks like Kenji Lewis could have potentially been down by contact right there. It looks like this may be overturned.
When you look at his left elbow, that was the first part of his body that hit the turf. Kenji Lewis, he's been impactful in this one already. Remember, Ligier coaches told us that he should have had more touches last year. Just a sophomore from Memphis. Here's another look. Watch this left elbow.
Yeah, I do believe he will be down, but that's a great job by Mitchell Colkin attacking the football right there, almost getting a turnover for his defense. And going back to Kenji Lewis, when we talked to the coaching staff, they said he's the bigger receiver that we have. He's the possession guy. You're right. They said he should have got the ball more. They said he's also a physical blocker out on the edge.
If the play stands, it's our 17th play from scrimmage. It would be the 5th turnover of the game combined between these two clubs.
And we're looking from up top, but it looks like Cardell Williams, the backup quarterback, is warming up. So potentially, if this does stand as a fumble recovery by Tulsa, he could potentially be going into game if Braylon Braxton isn't healthy.
His coaching staff, they spoke very highly of Cardell Williams. Redshirted last year, a dual threat quarterback who enrolled last spring and went 33-5 in high school. He's a proven winner. If UAPB hangs on and maintains possession, their offensive coordinator is Bobby Acosta, who is the OC at IMG Academy, won a national championship there. What does he want this UAPB offense to look like?
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to him in our meetings this week. He talked about having a basketball team on grass field, right? The quarterback's job is to be a distributor, like a point guard. He wants to get to the line of scrimmage, to the end zone as quick as possible, and the quarterback's job is just to disperse the ball and distribute it.
And his quarterback, Mekhi Hagans, has thrown 3 passes, one of them an interception, but it was right at the chest of Damon Dawkins, who juggled the catch. It was picked on a tipped ball. For the most part, would you say Hagans has managed the offense for UAPB to a high level?
It's what Coach Acosta talked about, right? Just hitting the open man, distributing the football, getting the ball to your playmakers in space, and letting them make plays. We've seen Kenji Lewis make plays already for this APBU offense. So Mekhi Hagans has done a really good job. You talked about the interception. Was it a little low? Yes. A little bit misfortune. Ball got tipped up. The defender was in the right place and got an interception.
Here's the call.
After further review, the runner was down by contact before the ball came loose. It'll be second down at the 44-yard line, Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, James, you talked about it. Kenji Lewis, left elbow, looked like it hit the ground, and even his butt may have been on the ground before Mitchell Colkin ripped away at the ball. So APBU gets a break right there, and it's not a turnover. The offense stays on the field. Let's see if they can put a drive together and get some points on the board and go up by double digits.
It was a short completion, brings up second down and 6 for the Golden Lions. Leading by a touchdown here on the road. Toss sweep. Jamerson submarined. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Jaden Simon leading the charge. Owen Ostrowski in on the tackle as well for the Hurricane D.
Yeah, APBU goes in bunch formation. They do crack toss right there. Nice job by Jaden Simon and Owen Ostrowski getting down the line of scrimmage and holding that for a no gain.
3rd and 6. UAPB really struggled a season ago on 3rd down. Converted just 31%. Hagans climbing the pocket, taking off, has running room, gets to the sideline for a first down. Gain of 11 yards for Mekhi Hagans, and UAPB picks up the 3rd down conversion.
Nice job on Mekhi Hagans going through his progressions. He sees that they're in man coverage with a free safety drop down, and he just takes off, finds the void in that pass. You got to have pass rush lanes if you're Tulsa right there. They open up that B gap, and he goes through it and gets a first down.
3rd first down of the night for the Golden Lions. This time, nowhere to go for Michael Jamerson. Owen Ostrowski, his 2nd impactful play from his defensive end position. Joe Anderson also collaborates on the tackle, and it's 2nd down and a long 10, short 11 for UAPB.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Chris Polizzi right there decided he's had enough. He's going to bring some extra drives, bring some pressure. Saw DeMarco Jones come off the edge, and they get a tackle for loss on first down.
Play action. Hagans offline. Wanted Kenji Lewis. Brings up 3rd and long for the Golden Lions.
In that situation right there, you just want to get half of your yardage back right there. Make it a third and manageable. Kenji Lewis wants a little comeback route. Makai Hagan's just a little bit inaccurate with the pass. Now it's third and long. Let's see if this Tulsa defense can get after the quarterback. Or can Makai Hagan maybe buy some time with his athletic ability and pick up a first down?
UAPB 3 for 3 on third downs. And this is their third trip across the 50 into Tulsa territory. Pressure. Hagens brought down by Owen Ostrowski. His first sack of the year. He had 3 a season ago.
Yes, Owen Ostrowski gets the sack, but it was Ben Kempinski coming off left edge. Watch him right here. Beat the tackle's hands and then closing on Makai Hagan. He has nowhere to go. Ostrowski does a good job coming from inside out, making that play on Makai Hagan. Good job by this Tulsa D getting off on third down, getting off the field on third down.
Sack is good for 12 yards. UAPB on to punt for the first time. Trey Klimt is their punter. Backing up Benjamin. Flag comes out as he gets upfield close to the 35-yard line.
This Tulsa special teams has had some big returns. We saw Braylon Presley have a big return but then fumble the ball. We saw Camden Benjamin right there with a nice return, putting them in good field position. Now we'll see what the flag is. It's usually in the vicinity of potential holding and could be called back.
42-yard punt. 19 on the return from Benjamin. A look at Tulsa head coach Kevin Wilson. Spent the last 6 seasons at Ohio State, where his offenses had the most passing touchdowns of anybody in the country during that stretch. Second most total touchdowns.
There are 2 fouls by the receiving team. Holding, number 13, that penalty's declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 4, that penalty's enforced. Half the distance from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout.
We'll take a break. A shocker so far in Tulsa, Oklahoma. UAPB leading the home team by a touchdown. To work on their starter, Braylon Braxton's ankle. This is Cardell Williams, redshirt freshman. Didn't play last season, sat out with that red shirt. He was a really good high school quarterback, went 33-5 at Decatur High School.
Coaching staff they spoke really highly of him. He's an athletic quarterback, can do some of the things that Braylon Braxton can do. Not as big, right? But guy has a little bit more wiggle in the open space. 3-star athlete coming out of high school. He looked like he was on the sideline excited, James, to get into this game. He was dancing around right before going in on offense.
9-yard gain for running back Jordan Ford, who gets the call and picks up the first down. Impressive runs by the senior tailback, who played at Garden City Community College and was a JUCO All-American back in 2020. Top returning rusher for this Tulsa offense.
And don't be surprised if Steve Spurrier really looks to his veteran group, the offensive line up front. Run the ball, let Cardell Williams get comfortable in this offense before throwing the ball.
Ford again. Wiggles outside to get to the 32-yard line. 3 straight carries for tailback Jordan Ford. That one goes for a dozen, a gain of 12.
And that's what you expect with a young quarterback coming into the game. When your starter gets injured, right? You want to run the ball, use that veteran offensive line, let them lay on that defensive line, and let Jordan Ford get downhill.
Play action, Williams dancing. Williams improvising, and he runs out of real estate at the 27-yard line. Stuffed up front by Anas Lukman. It's a loss of 5.
Yeah, you run the ball, then go play action pass, get him on the edge, use his athletic ability. Great job by APBU getting out there, right, where he had nowhere to go. Tries to use athletic ability and cut back, but Anas Lukman does a good job pursuing from inside out to get a tackle for loss right there.
On 2nd and 15, they go back to the ground. Pulling through would-be tacklers. Jackson lost it out of bounds, and they'll mark him out at the UAPB 46-yard line. Ushered out by Laprel Boyd on the back end.
And right there, linebacker Rico Dozier had an opportunity to get Bill Jackson down for minimal gain. He misses the tackle. Bill Jackson scouts out of that hole and gets a positive yard on 2nd and long to get them a first down.
Longest play from scrimmage tonight for Tulsa. That one went for 25. Quick hitter to the tight end. A gain of 3. Complete to Luke McGarry. And Cardell Williams completes his first pass in the Tulsa uniform.
Yeah, just get him a simple pass, bootleg, get him on the edge. You bring Luke McGarry across the formation, a little dump out pass, and he gets 2 or 3 yards on first down.
On 2nd and 7, Williams wanted to take a shot. Scrambling towards the sideline. And he has a first down. Grant Ewell Jr. shoved him out. What do you think of the redshirt freshman Cardell Williams so far?
Right there, James, he wanted to take a shot downfield, didn't like what he saw. Good job in coverage by APBU. And then Isaiah Ward, the left defensive end. You cannot lose contain when you got an athletic quarterback.
Timeout.
He gets on the edge
Pine Bluff.
and gets nearly a first down. I believe he did pick up a first down on that run.
It'll be close. It was a gain of 6 for Cardell Williams.
1 yard short. But yeah, when you're playing an athletic quarterback, you have to understand, right? Pass rush lane responsibility. If you're the edge guy, you have to stay on the edge, because if you go inside and don't make the play, you got an athletic quarterback getting on the edge on safeties and linebackers that he potentially is faster than.
Arkansas Pine Bluff leads Tulsa 7-0. There's head coach Alonzo Hampton, who won a World Bowl as a player in 1999. He played in NFL Europe. You see his resume, and he's a Willie Taggart disciple, a high-energy guy. Really enjoyed our conversation with Coach Hampton earlier this week.
Yeah, great conversation with Coach Hampton. He's got to be excited the way his team has come out here and competed in this first quarter. He talked about guys flying around, playing with energy. He says he wanted his team to come out, compete, one play at a time, one series at a time. And he wanted his team to come out here and play for each other. He said the thing is, you don't want to let your brother down. You don't want to let your teammate down. So do your job, play with energy, and go out there and have fun.
8th play of this drive for Tulsa that started at their own 9-yard line. Corkscrewing to the 32, Jordan Ford, who's had the bulk of the carries for this Tulsa offense. That's his 5th carry. He has 33 yards on the ground.
Been a nice 1-2 punch between Bill Jackson and Jordan Ford. You see what we were talking about earlier with some of the missed tackles when you haven't been tackling in training camp? Guys missed tackle. Well, that was not a missed tackle right there.
Torpedoed by Kyrie Williams. Williams has an interception, and that big hit to bring up 2nd down for this Tulsa offense.
Did a really good job of filling this lane right here. Watch him. That's a form tackle with authority. You talked about it already, James. He is making an imprint on this game, has an interception, and that big tackle on that last play.
And another big hit back at the 40. Lukeman destroys the quarterback Williams. It'll be 3rd and a mile for this Tulsa offense.
And that's the 2nd or 3rd time Anaz Lukeman has gotten up the field on this bootleg. It's not fooling him anymore. They've been pretty vanilla with Cardell Williams in the offense. They've been running the ball, bootleg. Anaz Lukeman was not surprised at all. He gets up the field and crushes Cardell Williams for a big sack for this APBU defense.
3rd and 17 after a 9-yard loss. They dump it underneath to Ford, and he's tripped up at the 42. Kyrie Morrison got him by the shoelaces. It's a loss of 2. How about that UAPB defensive stand? Tulsa, they were marching towards the end zone.
And that is a huge play right there by Kyrie Morrison, because they set up the screen and nobody else was there, right? He had to beat the offensive line. He beats them, ducks up under the block, and makes a big tackle because they had a chance to pick up some big yardage.
First punt of the night for Tulsa. And they'll down it around the 5-yard line. Nicely done. Angus Davies able to hang it up there.
Talk about the field position battle, right? Nice play right there. Tulsa drives the ball down. They get stalled out. Big sack by Anaz Lukeman, but a great punt right there by Angus Davies, pinning this APBU defense back. What you're hoping now is your Tulsa defense can come out here, get a 3 and out, and put you in really good field position when they punt the ball back to you.
How would you evaluate this UAPB offensive line? That was a big key to their success tonight, and really their foundation for success offensively.
Yeah, Ryan Atkins is a cornerstone. That's what Coach Hampton said about who he is and what he means to this team at the left tackle. He's a all-SWAC performer. This offensive line, they're really close to it. They've done a really good job. Besides that last third down when Ben Kapinski got on the edge and got a near sack, they've done a really good job.
Jonas Davis trying to cut the corner. Bumped out of bounds. Mark him out at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I talked about Ben Kapinski. Right there, he loses the edge and allows Jonas Davis to get outside. And you see the speed from Davis. He's able to turn that corner and get a first down on first down.
13-yard gain. Lions by a touchdown here on the road. Final minute of this first session. Between the tackles and Colton Smith able to wrap up. He got Davis for no gain on the play. Smith's an interesting story, a transfer from Southwest Baptist University, a Division II program. Coaches said he was awesome in fall camp. He led all of Division II in tackles 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, Division II All-American. And when he first got to Tulsa, defensive coordinator Chris Polizzi said he was a guy that saw ball, get ball, right? He's learned over training camp that read your keys, get downhill. You can't just be a wild dog in a meat house. And they've been really excited about him coming out and playing.
Davis with a cutback to get to the 30. The sophomore from Athens, Georgia has been impressive. That's a 12-yard pitch and catch.
Yeah, nice job right there by Jonas Davis setting up the screen, the offensive line, get out. And we just talked about Colton Smith right there in open space. Jonas Davis hit him with
That's
that
ha-ha. The first quarter.
He was able to get a first down on that screen play.
After one, Arkansas Pine Bluff leads Tulsa 7-0. 4 turnovers combined between these two teams in that first frame. And the Road Dogs lead it by a score. The student section here at H.H. Chapman Stadium called the Caniacs. UAPB leads by a touchdown after one. Our top headlines: 4 combined turnovers in that first quarter between these two clubs, and Tulsa quarterback Braylon Braxton sidelined with an ankle injury. Quick hitter on the outside, no gain. Jace Oliver on the coverage for Tulsa. Braxton 1 for 4, 9 yards through 2 picks. They wrapped up his left ankle. Didn't see him on the next series. It was redshirt freshman Cardell Williams. But if you're UAPB, how do you feel being up by a touchdown after one?
You feel really great, and you also feel like maybe you could be up more. Remember, they had the turnover deep in the red zone, so Pine Bluff has done a really good job on offense being able to move the ball, and their defense has been opportunistic in getting turnovers.
Jaden Simon able to fill the gap. A loss of 2. Sets up 3rd and long for UAPB.
The last time they were in 3rd and long, Ben Kapinski was able to come off the edge, and Owen Ostrowski got a sack. We talked about that with defensive coordinator Chris Polizzi, right? They struggled getting sacks last year from that defensive front. He said Ben Kapinski is a guy he's looking forward to getting after the quarterback. He did that on that last 3rd down. Let's see if he can get after the quarterback on this 3rd down.
3rd and 12. Higgins ejected from the pocket, scanning downfield. He darts out of bounds to pick up just a couple. UAPB will be punting.
Nice job by this Tulsa secondary. They drop off in zone coverage in 3rd and long. Mekhi Higgins has nowhere to go. He tries to get as many yards as possible to the right side and just gets out of bounds. Good 3rd down stop by this Tulsa defense.
Camden Benjamin back deep. Trey Glitton on to punt for UAPB, his 2nd appearance tonight. Got it away, angling towards the sideline, out of bounds. Where will they mark it? Side judge on the trot. It'll be around midfield, right at the 50. Outstanding field position for Tulsa on their first series of this 2nd quarter. That was just a 19-yard punt. Hey, Saturday, it's an AAC football triple header on ESPNU. Start your day at noon Eastern with SMU hosting Louisiana Tech, then followed by Cal at North Texas at 4 Eastern. End your day with number 24, Tulane's home opener versus South Alabama. All 3 games are on ESPNU and the ESPN app. 1st and 10 from the 50 for the redshirt freshman quarterback Cardell Williams, his 2nd series tonight. Starter Braxton out with an ankle injury. Ford wiggling, finding running room. They'll mark him out inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Jordan Ford has been impressive getting downhill. That's a gain of 22.
Yeah, right there, Nas Lukeman, the right defensive end. He gets kind of caved down inside by the offensive lineman. He's trying to fight off the block of Keeleon Herbert. He does a really good job of reaching him right there. And good job by Jordan Ford getting on the edge and getting an explosive run.
His 9th carry tonight to the 25, a gain of 3. Coaches told us that Jordan Ford had been the most consistent running back in camp. What do you like most about his game?
Well, we talked to the coaches about this 1-2 punch at the running back position. They said it's kind of like lightning and thunder, but Jordan Ford being more of the physical back, right? Bill Jackson, we already saw him scamper through. We saw the explosiveness he has. But Jordan Ford is showing you some speed right there on the edge, getting on the edge. So he's run tough and physical tonight. That's what you like about Jordan Ford.
This is Anthony Watkins putting his head down. Got back to the line of scrimmage and a late flag comes out. He's running hard for the Golden Hurricane.
And he's the biggest back they have, right at 5'11", 210. You saw some of the strength right there, able to stiff arm a defender, and we'll see if this will be a late hit on Pine Bluff at the end of the play.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 33, defense, half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
Sean Wilson, the guilty party. Here's another look.
Yeah, and the player right there was holding on, trying to bring Watkins down. You have to realize where you're at on the sideline. You're good until you sling him down. The ref is going to call that every single time.
Ref said 33. It was 23, Caleb Knox. Watkins still in at tailback for Tulsa, looking for their first points of the night. Williams keeps it, and Williams going down back at the 20. Spun down by Kyrie Williams. How many times have we called his name already in this first half?
Kyrie Williams has played an amazing first half. Good job by Pine Bluff defense right there. Kyrie Morrison was on the dive, so Cordell Williams keeps the ball. He gets on the edge, and then Kyrie Williams fills that void, comes downhill. Doing your responsibility. That's what we talked to defensive coordinator Callaway about, and they did it right there on that play. Good job by the Pine Bluff defense.
Ford looking for a burst. He's inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. It'll set up a more manageable third down for this Tulsa offense.
This Pine Bluff defense has been very opportunistic, been able to get off the field on third down. Let's see if they can get off the field here and hold Tulsa to a field goal when they had really good field position.
Third down and 11. Pressure up the middle. Tulsa picks it up. Williams scanning, and it's complete inside the 5. Devin Williams, the freshman from Temple, Texas, with his second grab. That'll go for 11.
That was Cardell Williams' biggest throw of the night. Third and long. See Devin Williams on the outside. He runs a simple in-breaking route in zone coverage. Nice, accurate throw by Cardell Williams. Good job by the offensive line up front protecting.
Ford wrangled down back at the 4. Grant Ewell Jr., the leader in this UAPB secondary with the TFL. Second and goal.
And Grant Ewell has played a lot of football. He's the second leading tackler coming back this year for this Pine Bluff defense. We've heard Kyrie Williams' name, and he's put an input on his game. Grant Ewell just did it right there.
Williams grips the snap, looking for the angle. Hit. Touchdown, Tulsa. First career touchdown for the redshirt freshman Cardell Williams, and the point after can knock the score.
Nice job blocking up front by the big guys, and tight end Luke McGarry. We talked to the coaching staff about him. They've been really excited to get this young freshman into the game. He imposed his will on the edge and escorted Cardell Williams into the end zone on that quarterback sweep.
8-play, 50-yard scoring drive, just under 3 minutes off the clock. Chase Meyer on for the point after, and he slips it through. Tulsa has their first touchdown of the Kevin Wilson era. Cardell Williams. We're tied at 7 here in Tulsa. Welcome back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. A look at downtown Tulsa. 7-7. After the 3-yard rushing touchdown by redshirt freshman quarterback Cardell Williams, you see him talking to Braylon Braxton, who left the game on the 3rd series with an apparent ankle injury.
Nice job by that Tulsa offense, putting a drive together, getting back into this game after turning the ball over 3 times earlier in this game.
UAPB signals for the fair catch. That Tulsa offense had 3 turnovers in that first quarter. If you're just joining us, 4 combined turnovers between these two clubs. The first 16 plays from scrimmage. Interception by Laprel Boyd, the second pick thrown by Braylon Braxton. But then Tulsa, they were able to respond on that last drive with a 50-yard, 8-play scoring drive. What impressed you most on that last series from the Hurricane?
And Cardell Williams, especially on that 3rd down, right? Being able to find Devon Williams on that in-breaking route on 3rd and long to continue to drive. And then great job by the offensive front. Also talked about Luke McGarry springing Cardell Williams free on that quarterback sweep for a touchdown. So it's all about how you bounce back, not how you start the game.
Hagans in the hole, finds an open receiver. Big play for the Golden Lions. Maurice Lloyd able to capture it. It goes for 22 and a first down.
Yeah, the play action pass right there really sucked up the linebackers. Maurice Lloyd finds the void right behind the safety. You get a big pass completion on first down because of the play action.
Last 3 drives for UAPB, an interception and then 2 punts. That was their biggest play from scrimmage. Hagans, after play action, whistles it behind his intended target, Damon Dawkins. Nunu Campbell on the coverage on the back end for Tulsa.
Yeah, right here, this is the last play, the play action pass from Mekhi Hagans. Watch how he fixed the screen on the outside. It made the safety bite. Maurice Lloyd gets behind the linebackers and safety, and a great accurate throw by Mekhi Hagans to get an explosive pass on first down.
He's completed 6 of his 9 passes in this first half for 59 yards. Coaches talked about him being the point guard for this offense.
That's what Bobby Acosta wanted, right? He wanted Mekhi Hagans to come out here and just be a point guard. Distribute the ball to the playmakers. And he's done a really good job of doing that.
Completes his 7th pass. Damon Dawkins, the fastest receiver on this Golden Lions team, able to squirt to the 40-yard line of the Golden Hurricane.
And the coaches raved about Damon Dawkins. He is their explosive receiver on the outside. He is the guy that can make people miss in open field. Mitchell Koken was a culprit of that just right there. One-on-one in open space. Damon Dawkins said, me versus a linebacker, I'll take that all day.
14-yard gain. Keep it on the ground this time. Jamerson planted after a gain of just 1. But this has been the most impressive drive tonight by this UAPB offense.
Mekhi Hagans is in a real rhythm right now, right? He knows where to go with the football. We saw the play action pass on the first play, and then being able to find Damon Dawkins on the next play on an in-breaking route. He is just comfortable in the pocket. And you have to give a kudos to this offensive line for Pine Bluff. They're doing a really good job standing up in the pocket, giving their quarterback some time so he can distribute the ball to the playmakers.
A look at Hagans' numbers, 7 for 10, 73 yards, has that 1 interception, but it was a drop by his receiver. Deep in the pocket, winds it up and overshoots Damon Dawkins on the seam route. 3rd and 9 upcoming for UAPB.
That was a nice job by Nunu Campbell. He was in the slot versus Damon Dawkins. What a slot fade right there. And Mekhi Hagans just a little inaccurate, put too much air on the ball, overshoots his receiver. But Nunu Campbell was right there in the hip pocket for Damon Dawkins.
You brought up that UAPB offensive line. It's a veteran group. Grad transfer, graduate student, I should say, at left tackle, then junior, senior, and junior across that front line. UAPB 3 for 5 on 3rd downs. Hagans in trouble. Tosses it to the sideline, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and 9 for the Golden Lions.
The defensive coordinator, Chris Polizzi, brings a blitz off of the edge right there. He has bootleg by Mekhi Hagans, but he has nowhere to go. He has 2-3 defenders in his face. Great job by throwing the ball away, not compounding an issue on a play and punting it away. But I was surprised right here that Coach Alonzo Hampton didn't maybe go for it in plus territory on the other side of the 50. You're the underdog team, has played really well. Your defense has played well. Don't be surprised if you see a fake here.
They will kick it away. Benjamin signals for a fair catch and reels it in at the 7. Well, Coach Hampton elects to pin Tulsa deep.
Timeout on the field.
Definitely playing the field position right there. He's hoping his defense can get a 3 and out and get the offense good field position if they punt it away.
The American on ESPN Plus as the sun sets on Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tied at 7, approaching the midway point of this second quarter. That last drive for UAPB, Lige has had a missed opportunity for the Golden Lions.
Potentially, but this is what Coach Hampton, I believe he's thinking, right? My defense has played with its hair on fire. 3 turnovers right now. The Tulsa offense scored in a shortened field. If I pin them back, right, we go 3 and out on defense. Our offense was moving the ball that last series. Maybe I can get us advantageous field position and maybe score on a short field.
Redshirt freshman quarterback pinned inside his own 10-yard line, but Jordan Ford will give Tulsa some room to operate. Make it Taj Gary, who got the carry, his first of the night. The Virginia Tech transfer in his second year in this Tulsa program.
That was a tough downhill run by Taj Gary right there, getting about 9 yards on first down. Opposing as well, a couple missed tackles by that Pine Bluff defense.
Gary again lost his balance. Ball's out late. They will mark him down.
The ruling on the field is the runner was down. First down.
He picked up the first down after a gain of 2.
And I'm actually surprised Kyrie Williams didn't pull that on his own read because everybody crashed down. And even Taj Gary saw that because he bounced outside. So if Kyrie Williams pulls that, Cardell Williams pulls that ball, he's on the edge with one-on-one with the safety.
Cardell Williams in at quarterback for Tulsa after starter Braylon Braxton left with an ankle injury. Wide open, he has his man. Marquise Shoulders, house call. Tulsa takes their first lead of the night.
Right there, Coach Spurrier dials up a bootleg double move right by Marquise Shoulders. And the DB was fine, but he ends up slipping right here. And that's what you want if you're Cardell Williams on that double move. A wide open receiver to throw to. Marquise Shoulders makes the easy catch and scampers into the end zone. But Taquan Fleming wasn't fooled by the double move. He ends up just slipping. It's unfortunate for him, but big play for Tulsa to get on the board and go up by potentially 7 after this kick.
Meyer boots it through. 80 yards on the completion. Tulsa has their first lead of the 2023 campaign. Wilson was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State the last 6 seasons, and his quarterback tonight, Cardell Williams, putting up C.J. Stroud-like numbers, 4 for 4, 93 yards and a touchdown. You look at those first 2 drives with Braylon Braxton at quarterback, 40 yards, 2 picks, but he was hobbled by an ankle injury. Left after the 3rd series. It's been Williams since, and he's been fantastic.
Yeah, Cardell Williams has really settled in, had a big 3rd down completion to Devin Williams, then scores on a quarterback speed sweep, and then right there hits Marquise Shoulders in stride for a touchdown.
UAPB on the return to the 22-yard line, Jewel Fletcher. Let's go back to that last touchdown, an 80-yard bomb.
Yeah, Pine Bluff defense is playing a cover 3, which is 3 deep, right? And if you look at Taquan Fleming, once that receiver goes 10 yards, he has him. He's too high in his back pedal, and when Marquise Shoulders does the double move, he slips and falls. You're out there on the island by yourself. That's essentially man coverage, and I believe they were going that cover 3 defense because they've had trouble stopping the run. So Marquise Shoulders does a double move. Taquan Fleming falls. Advantageous for Cardell Williams, who hits Marquise Shoulders in stride for a touchdown.
1st and 10 for UAPB. Kai Higgins, the quarterback, stands tall in the pocket. Across the 30 to the 34. 1st down scramble, a gain of 11. How does UAPB respond on this series?
Well, that's a good first play, right, by Kai Higgins, not forcing the ball downfield. You got a too high safety look. Nobody's open. It opens up like the Red Sea in that A-gap, and he just goes forward and gets 10 yards in the 1st down.
That is the 8th 1st down of this 1st half for the Golden Lions. Higgins keeps, nowhere to go. Ostrowski able to blow it up from his defensive end position. Joseph Anderson finishes off the quarterback.
Nice job by Owen Ostrowski right there, getting off the block. And he's Tulsa legacy. His dad played here, Jerry Ostrowski, was an All-American. They retired his jersey here and also played 9 years in the NFL. So I know Papa is proud he made that play right there.
Big Buffalo Bills fan where his dad played in the NFL. It's his 4th tackle tonight. Jamerson up the gut, trying to get back some of that lost yardage from the previous play. They'll give him 2, and it sets up 3rd and long, just where the Tulsa defense wants UAPB.
Yeah, this Tulsa defense has really had their way on 3rd and long, right? And this is what you want if you're the Tulsa defense. Ben Kopinski, Owen Ostrowski, Joseph Anderson. This is, as a defensive lineman, this is what you want. 3rd and long, pin your ears back and go get the quarterback.
UAPB converted on their first 3 third downs. They're 0 for 3 since. 3 for 6 for the game. Higgins, 4-man rush. Buying time, spins in, and it's in and out of the hands of Maurice Lloyd. Lloyd would have had the first down, unable to hang on.
And James, honestly, I thought Mekhi Higgins could have got on the edge and picked up the first down with his legs. The Tulsa defensive line loses contain right there. You see it? But he still is able to turn his body, throw a perfect pass to Maurice Lloyd. He just isn't able to come down with it. That's a missed opportunity by this Pine Bluff offense.
Higgins thought he had the first down. UAPB 0 for their last 4 now on 3rd. This is 4th and 13. Limp on to punt it away. Backing up Benjamin. Room to return it. Works his way up the sideline. And a solid return out across the 40-yard line.
Timeout on the field.
Just over 5 minutes left before the half. Tulsa will see their offense coming up next. Defense trots out there. They lead at 14-7, the home opener for the Golden Hurricane. Quarterback Braylon Braxton started the game. Left after the 3rd series and 2 interceptions due to an ankle injury. This is Cardell Williams who hands it off. And Ford is stacked up. Picked up just a yard. Rico Dozier, 2nd team all SWAC linebacker, stuffs the play.
Yeah, Rico Dozier does a really good job triggering downhill, making a big physical tackle on the running back Jordan Ford right there for minimal gain.
Williams yet to throw it in completion. Stays perfect as he hits his tight end on a deep cross. Luke McGarry with his 2nd grab.
Cardell Williams has gotten really comfortable after the first couple drives in this series. Nice job being comfortable in the pocket, and he finds McGarry on this out route. Good job by the big fella with soft hands, catching the ball and then making somebody miss and getting the first down.
Ford bounces off 1 tackler, plows ahead to the 26. A solid chunk of 6 on first down. And on first down, Tulsa's averaging almost 6 yards per carry, 5.7. On the other side, UAPB just 2.8. The first down success has been there tonight for Tulsa, especially in this 2nd quarter. Sweep toss, Ford makes a cut, has another first down run.
Talked about this Tulsa offense averaging 6 yards per play on first down. It's mainly been the run game, right? Jordan Ford, Bill Jackson have had their way running the ball on first down. Right there, little toss play.
Timeout.
Luke McGarry.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. Their 2nd of the half. 30 seconds.
Luke McGarry, the tight end who just caught the pass, did a really good job blocking on the edge to set Jordan Ford free to pick up a first down on that carry.
Tulsa leads 14-7, timeout on the field. American fans, don't miss a second of the action this fall on ESPN+. You'll have 120+ men's and women's soccer games, as well as 180+ volleyball matches to pick from. ESPN+ is also the home of AAC All Access. Features including Mining for Greatness, following Charlotte football all season long. Catch all the action here on ESPN+. I have Charlotte on Saturday. Their coach is a character, Biff Poggi. Comes from Michigan, brought in 70 new players lot of newness in the American Conference as Charlotte makes the jump up from Conference USA.
Coach Pogge, I thought it was interesting. Did you see when they had the American Media Day?
Oh, yeah.
His conference?
Oh, yeah.
He was quite upset about the media not asking them too many questions. I believe Charlotte is picked last to finish in the preseason polls in the American.
Yep, we talked to him about that. Underneath, wide open, Malachi Jones darts in, touchdown Tulsa.
And James, we talked about Cardell Williams getting comfortable in the pocket right there. Does a good job. Usually a young player would scamper off when it opens up the hole like that, but he kept his eyes down the field, found Malachi Jones coming across the field, and he throws a touchdown.
A flag came out in the back of the end zone.
I believe it's for celebration.
Jones is the top returning receiver on this Tulsa team. 31 more catches than the next guy from last year.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
3 straight scores from this Tulsa offense.
Cardell Williams right here. Looks like he's about to take off, but he keeps his eyes down the field, finds Malachi Jones coming across the formation. He does a good job in the open field, catching the ball and then finding his way to the end zone. Good job by a young quarterback, not relying on his athletic ability, keeping his eyes down the field and finding an open receiver.
Did he get the flag for spinning the football after his touchdown?
I believe so. And if you're head coach Kevin Wilson, you have to be really mad about that, right? Because this game has gone back and forth. You've turned the football over. You finally got some momentum, and now you potentially give some momentum back on kickoff because you're going to have to kick off 15 yards back.
I think he should be more mad that that's even a penalty. 3 straight scores for Tulsa. What gives for the Hurricane here in this second quarter?
Yeah, they've been efficient on offense, been able to run the ball. We talked about how efficient they are on first down, averaging over 6 yards. Karen, I think it's their quarterback, their young quarterback, Cardell Williams, has looked really comfortable in the pocket, being able to throw the ball down the field. Had a little bit of luck with Marquis' shoulders on that double move. The defensive back fell down. But even besides that play, he's known where to go with the football. He found Devin Williams earlier in the game on a big third down, which led to a touchdown. And even right there, Malachi Jones, right? Instead of just taking off in the pocket, he keeps his eyes down the field, finds Malachi Jones coming across the formation, hits him in stride where he's able to catch the ball and run with it and scamper into the end zone.
Cardell Williams has PlayStation-like numbers. 6 for 6, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Quarterback rating of 394.8.
James, you'll take that all day and twice on Saturday or Thursday, whenever you play. But he's looked really good since that first drive, right? He's really got comfortable into the offense. Steve Spurrier Jr., the offensive coordinator, did a really good job when he first came in, running the ball, getting him comfortable. And now we see it paying dividends because he has chilled in that pocket and known where to go with the football.
That penalty from the excessive celebration enforced on the kickoff, and so Arkansas Pine Bluff, not much room on the return, but they're out to the 32. Coming up at halftime, a bunch of new coaches in the American this season. You'll meet some. Ray Rhodes inducted into Tulsa's Hall of Fame, and then we'll have a first half recap and analysis from this one. UAPB, they found the end zone first. They led 7-0. It's now 21-7 Tulsa. There were 4 turnovers and 4 first downs in the first 16 plays from scrimmage. This game got off to a horrendous start. Unless you love takeaways, there were a bunch of those.
Yeah, and if you're this Pine Bluff offense, right, you need a big drive right here. The momentum is shifted into Tulsa's way, and if you want to kind of run this clock down all the way to half and potentially get points at the end of it. You do not want to kick the ball back to Tulsa. Pine Bluff gets the ball coming out at half, so they want to put a drive together, get points, and then go into half.
Davis was giving up some ground, trying to turn the corner. A sea of blue jerseys, 10-yard loss.
Nice job by nose tackle Jaden Simon right there, knocking the center back and stopping Jamerson before he was able to get going.
Zaid Hamden will get credit with the TFL. 2nd and 20. Higgins spinning in and out of the hands of Lloyd, and that's his 2nd drop tonight.
And if you're Makai Higgins, he even is kind of throwing his hands out like, what else do I need to do? You don't want to do that, right? You want to instill confidence in your receiver. But Maurice Lloyd has had 2 pivotal drops already. That 3rd down drop, and right there, was the ball maybe a little in front, but as a receiver, if the ball hits your hands, you have to catch that, because it was 2nd and 20 there. He catches that in stride, James. He might take off for 20, 25 yards.
UAPB's 0 for 4 on their last 4 third downs. This is 3rd and forever. Higgins after play action, up high and too high for his intended target. LJ Wallace on the coverage. Tristan Ballard, his tight end, his intended target.
On the pass before, it was a little bit in front of Maurice Lloyd, still should have been caught, but right there, Mekhi Higgins is a little bit high on that pass to his tight end, Tristan Ballard. And if you're Pine Bluff, that's the last thing you want, a 3 and out. Kick the ball back to Cardell Williams and this Tulsa offense, who has all the momentum right now.
Tulsa has scored on their last 3 possessions. Camden Benjamin back deep. He's been effective in the return game. Blimp will hang it up there. Returnable for Benjamin. And Benjamin venturing into Golden Lions territory. 39-yard punt, 16-yard return. Well, we mentioned all the new head coaches in the American. Look at this list. Trent Dilfer at UAB. A lot of personalities. Tom Herman, former Texas coach, reunited with his former quarterback, Casey Thompson, who transferred from Texas to Nebraska, now is at FAU. Quite the list. And Kevin Wilson coming over to this Tulsa program from spending the last 6 seasons at Ohio State.
Yeah, I believe 6 new teams into the American Conference. And you saw the list right there. It's like half of those teams that are coming into the conference have new coaches as well.
First and 10, Tulsa. Jackson accelerating close to the first down marker. A gain of 8 yards. Tough, hard run by the sophomore Bill Jackson.
And that was a really nice play design by Steve Spurrier right there. It's a split zone, but if you look at the tight end, Ethan Hall, he kind of bluffs the end. So if Cardell Williams keeps that, he has a blocker on the edge. He decides to hand the ball off to Bill Jackson, who gets about 8 yards on first down.
This Tulsa roster, they have guys that were highly touted recruits and chose to play here over some big name programs. Jackson's a guy that chose Tulsa over Nebraska, Arizona State, among others. Nice throw. Williams still perfect, 7 for 7. Marquise Shoulders makes his 2nd catch of the night. That's good for 14 and another Tulsa first down.
Cardell Williams is cooking, and he actually had a bevy of receivers wide open. Braylon Presley, a guy we haven't talked about, who's a real explosive athlete for them. He was wide open on a drag route, but he decides to go to Marquise Shoulders on an out route and gets a first down.
Jackson roped down out of bounds after no gain. That was Tamon Akins, senior middle linebacker, UAPB. That's the strength of their defense. Dozier and Akins in the middle of that linebacking group.
Yeah, veterans at the linebacking group. And if you're Pine Bluff, you need your 2 best players to really show up big right here, right? The momentum has shifted to Tulsa. The last thing you want to do is give up a touchdown right before half. You're getting the ball coming out of half. If you can hold them to a field goal, that's a big win for your defense.
Little pop pass, gain of just a couple. But for Cardell Williams, on paper, he is still perfect, 8 for 8. That was his tight end, Ethan Hall.
Nice job by Caleb Knox. They hit the tight end, Ethan Hall, across the formation. Caleb Knox is able to fight off the block, and he's undersized right there, but he does a good job tackling Ethan Hall for a minimal gain.
The yardage this quarter, 211 to 36 in favor of Tulsa. 3rd and 8. Williams taking a shot for the end zone. Shoulders. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Tulsa.
I just talked about Caleb Knox making a really good play, fighting off the block and tackling Ethan Hall right there. Man coverage, one-on-one with Marquise Shoulders. Cardell Williams has a real connection with this receiver. On a straight go ball, he puts it out in front where only Marquise Shoulders can catch the ball. That is an absolute dime. Outside shoulder near the pylon where only your receiver can catch it. Great throw by Cardell Williams. Good job by the offensive line, allowing him to buy time to throw that ball down the field to Marquis Shoulders for a touchdown.
19-yard connection. Point after is perfect. Williams 9 for 9, 169 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he looks like a kid that threw for almost 8,000 yards in high school, had 90 touchdowns. He's a huge Ravens fan, models his game after Lamar Jackson, and he was another one of those kids that was a highly touted recruit out of high school.
Well, he's playing like Lamar Jackson right here. They got quarters coverage, which essentially, when that corner blitzes off the edge, the safety has that outside receiver one-on-one. Cardell Williams recognizes that, puts the ball only where Marquis Shoulders can catch it. Nice throw by Cardell Williams. And the young man is feeling it, James. You see him waving his arms around. And I believe he's still perfect on the game, if I'm not mistaken.
9 for 9. They love his frame. He's 6'2", 191. Thought it was interesting. The coaches told us that they put a major emphasis on players having an ideal weight for their respective position. Williams, he fits the mold, especially as just a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, he's still young. He's going to grow into his body. He weighs about 190 pounds. We talked about the difference between him and Braylon Braxton. Braylon Braxton is a more big physical runner at 222 pounds. But Cardell Williams, when he gets on the edge, he can really go. And you see what he can do within the pocket if he's given time. He's been perfect today. Again, a real rapport with his receiver, Marquez Shoulders. But it doesn't matter where he goes with the football. The receiver's catching it.
Tulsa, they've scored all 28 of their points here in this second quarter and lead it 28-7.
And we talked about that, right, James? Pine Bluff, they wanted a stop right there because the momentum has shifted, right? You get the ball coming out at half. If they were able to hold him to a field goal, that would have been massive for this Pine Bluff team. Now Mekhi Higgins is going to need his receivers to step up on his drive. See if they can get some points. You go 2 for 1 right here. Get a score here, get the ball coming out of half, and potentially try to score again.
Breaking loose, Davis cutting the corner. Full head of steam, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. A gain of 20. That's a rip for Jonas Davis.
And I will see them go hurry up, right? That first play, you run the ball. You don't expect your running back to break out like that. But now that you did, you're almost near half, almost at the 50-yard line. You're going to go 2-minute hurry-up offense. First play coming out in a 2-minute situation, always run, draw a screen. Jonas Davis breaks a few tackles and gets an explosive run. Now they'll run this 2-minute offense.
Higgins completes one on the edge. Donald Johnson III able to reel it in. He had misfired on his last 5 prior to that one.
Yeah, just a quick hitter, quick outside route by Donald Johnson right there. And Mekhi Higgins hits him in stride. You talked about him having some incompletions. A few of those were drops by his receivers, but the coaches just want to get him confident. Quick, easy out route, throws it to Johnson for about 5 or 6 yards.
On the draw play, Davis makes one man miss and gets upfield to the 35-yard line. Jonas Davis has been impressive. Coaches said he's our most built like a true running back.
Yeah, and Jonas Davis right there, right in the open field, one-on-one with the linebacker. Now you see me, now you don't. This whole drive has literally been him breaking a few tackles, getting an explosive run on the outside, and right there on a draw play, right? 2nd and 5 or 6. If you're on the defense for Tulsa, your ears have to be perked up for draw and screen. They run the draw play. He makes the linebacker miss the hole, gets a first down, and it stops the clock.
They'll
add 5 seconds to put 53 on the timer. 13-yard run by Davis. And keep in mind, Leger, Arkansas Pine Bluff, they get the ball to start the second half.
I'm so glad you brought that up, James, because talks about 2 for 1, right? Being able to score right before half and then score coming out of half.
Here's a look at what Tulsa has done in this second quarter.
Yeah, they snatched the momentum back. You saw the speed sweep by Cardell Williams. Marquis Shoulders, he hits him in stride on the double move, finds Malachi Jones, and then an absolute dot to Marquis Shoulders in the back of the end zone on a go route. Cardell Williams has looked really good in the second quarter.
1st and 10. Higgins cranks it up. And he overshoots his intended target, Kenji Lewis. One-on-one coverage. Nunu Campbell on the back end for Tulsa.
And Nunu Campbell has done a really good job on some of these deep routes, some of these slot fades. He's been in the hip pocket of receivers. Right there, Mekhi Higgins tries to force the ball down the field. Nunu Campbell is in perfect position to make sure the receiver doesn't catch it.
Second down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Dean Saris, the kicker, coach told us his range is 45 to 50. They think he has a big leg. Higgins, Davis up the middle. Tough sledding. Just 3. UAPB burns a timeout.
Timeout. Arkansas Pine Bluff. For third and final of the half. 30 seconds.
So third and around 8. If you're UAPB, what do you dial up here?
Right here, you want to get something on the edge, maybe with your quarterback, Mekhi Higgins, run a bootleg and give him some options. I said also run a bunch formation. See if you can get some pig routes to get a receiver, spring him open. If nothing's there, Mekhi Higgins, become an athlete, get on the edge, see if you can pick up the first down with your athletic ability.
First ever meeting between these two schools. If you're just joining us, there were 4 turnovers in the first 16 plays from scrimmage. There were also 4 first downs. As many takeaways as fresh set of downs. UAPB led 7-0. They capitalized on a Braylon Braxton interception. But then in the second quarter, it's been the Cardell Williams show. Braxton left after the 3rd series due to an ankle injury. He threw 2 picks. He was 1 for 4 for 9 yards with those 2 interceptions and just didn't look himself. They tried taping the left ankle, then brought in Williams, and he has put on a show. Rattling off 28 straight for the Golden Hurricanes. 9 for 9 for $169 and 3 touchdowns. 3rd and 8, UAPB. Higgins, backside pressure, and he's going down at the 42. Second sack of the night for this Tulsa defense, and that's Ben Kaminsky, the Oklahoma State transfer.
I'm actually surprised on that slant route that Mekhi Higgins didn't throw the ball to Damon Dawkins, but good job using your hands by Ben Kaminsky, not stopping on the play. Wasn't able to get the sack last time, but he finishes Higgins right there for a big sack on 3rd down.
Kaminsky has 6 tackles tonight. Final play of the half. Higgins, Hail Mary, downfield. No flags are out.
Wow.
Kenji Lewis had a beat on the football, was held, no penalty.
And Coach Alonso has every right to be upset. The defensive back was in the trebles. He definitely grabbed Kenji Lewis right there. Surprised that flag didn't come out. But if you're Tulsa, it's Hail Mary right there. You should be the deepest of the deepest. No receiver should get behind you. Right there, Kenji Lewis had a step on the defensive back. They got away with one right there. And if you're Coach Hampton for Pine Bluff, you have to be upset for a reason.
28-7 our score as we break for intermission. UAPB led by a touchdown after 1. All Tulsa in the second led 7-0. 3-score game as we start the second half. Tulsa won the toss and elected to receive, and so we'll see UAPB on the return. Chase Meyer has the ball on the tee, and the second half is underway. Unable to get to the 20. UAPB's Dawkins stacked up. Welcome back inside H.A. Chapman Stadium. Lige Dujable. I'm James Westling. 28-7. Tulsa leads by 3 scores as we start the second half. They had 3 turnovers in the first half, but Cardell Williams, the big story, their quarterback.
Yeah, James, you would think the turnovers would be the big story, but Cardell Williams has been efficient in the pocket. They've gotten him on the edge on a touchdown run. Ever since that first drive, he's kind of calmed down, breathed. Offensive line has done a really good job. They've actually run the ball really well. It's also run the ball really well. But he's perfect in this game. He's really comfortable in this pocket.
9 for 9, 169 yards, 3 touchdowns. Most of it in the second quarter. UAPB's quarterback Higgins hands it off. John S. Davis getting the bulk of the workload for this UAPB backfield. Picked up 5, and Darren Ray and Ostrowski combined on the tackle for the Tulsa defense.
And Jonas Davis has run really well in that second half. He had 2 big runs that put them in position to potentially get points right before the half.
Higgins throws to the sideline, and it's complete for a first down, a gain of 7. 9th completion of the night for the UAPB quarterback, who started 7 for 10 and then cooled off.
And that has to be a confident booster right there from Maurice Lloyd. He had 2 pivotal drops in that first half. Right there, Mekhi Higgins finds him on an out route and gets a first down completion.
If you're just joining us, a look at Higgins' numbers, 9 for 19 now, 87 yards. But Tulsa quarterback Braylon Braxton got hurt on the 3rd series. It's been the backup Cardell Williams, the showstopper. Davis makes one man miss. Can't get away from that second wave, but he does pick up 3 or 4, making it a more manageable second down.
Nice job by Jonas Davis right there, being patient on that power play as the offensive line pulled around. He was one-on-one with Julian Simon and ducked up under the tackle and was able to get 3 or 4 yards on that first down carry.
UAPB led 7-0 after 1. Higgins, a deep drop. That one way too tall, intended for Maurice Lloyd. And it's 3rd down. Kendarren Ray on the coverage.
Maurice Lloyd was looking for a flag on that deep out route with Kendarren Ray in coverage. Looks like he almost slipped at the top of the break. Mekhi Higgins threw the ball where he thought Lloyd would be. Just a little bit inaccurate. The timing was off between quarterback and receiver there.
Ray's been all over the field on the coverage on that play. He has 8 tackles, 4 of them solo stops. UAPB 3 for 9 on 3rd downs. 4-man rush. Higgins stepping up, scanning, angling towards the sideline, and he's ushered out of bounds. Julian Simon joins his brother Jaden, who plays on the defensive line. And Julian Simon, he's an interesting story. He was a highly touted player out of high school, number 21 linebacker in the entire country, a transfer from USC. And the coaches talked about, you know, as an 8th grader, he looked like he looks now.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that everybody's telling him in 8th grade and 9th grade, you're going to be playing in the NFL one day, and that's just a lot of pressure at that age.
James, he was a freak athlete in high school. I mean, he plays linebacker, but he also played receiver and had over 1,000 yards receiving. That lets you know what type of athlete he is. And we talked about him with Chris Polizzi, the defensive coordinator. And he said exactly what you said. I mean, this guy from 8th grade heard he was going to be the guy playing in the NFL. Now he is one of the leaders on this Tulsa defense.
36-yard punt. Let's look at Tulsa quarterback Cardell Williams, the redshirt freshman, and what he did in the first half. 9 for 9, $169 and 3 touchdowns.
And that's where his confidence really started going when he found Devon Williams right there on that in-breaking route. Then he finds Marquise Shoulders once the DB falls right here. Keeps his eyes down the field. Malachi Jones hits him on a crossing pattern to get into the end zone, and a picture-perfect throw to the back of the end zone to Shoulders on a fade route. Again, Cardell Williams has been cooking ever since the second quarter. He is perfect right now. 9 for 9, 169 yards, 3 touchdowns. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Timeout for an injured player, Isaiah Ward. The defensive end for UAPB. Junior from Sacramento, California, had 19 tackles a season ago. Cardell Williams also has that rushing touchdown. He's accounted for all 4 scores for Tulsa. Tulsa went 5-7 last year. They were 7-6 in 2021. 6-3 in 2020 during the COVID year. Jordan Ford gets the call. Tamon Akins climbs on his back to ride him into the ground. Gain of just 2.
A nice job by Tamon Akins right there, triggering, getting downhill. They've had a lot of success, Tulsa, on offense, running that split zone. They bring Luke McGarry across the formation. Nice tough run by Jordan Ford, but nice job by Tamon Akins, triggering, getting downhill, and holding it to a minimal gain.
Ford blown up. Lost 2, back to the original line of scrimmage. Rico Dozier and Kendarius Clark combined on the tackle.
And Kendarius Clark does a really good job of beating the guard's hands and getting into the backfield. He is one of their playmakers up front. That's the first time we've really heard his name. Big play on second down to get them in 3rd and long.
3rd and 10, Williams. Can he stay perfect? Flushed, flag comes out, hits Ford, and Ford tumbles ahead. Didn't get close to the first down marker. Grant Ewell Jr. made the tackle.
We believe this will be holding on the offensive line, and Pine Bluff will decline this. Good job for them getting off the field.
Holding, number 57, offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
First penalty on that Tulsa offensive line tonight.
Yeah, Rico Dozier does a really good job from his linebacker position blitzing. You get a hole right there on Leon Herbert. Cardell Williams is still perfect, though. He was able to find Jordan Ford out of the backfield, but nice job by this Pine Bluff defense, right? They go 3 and out on, well, not 3 and out on offense, but they punt the ball back to Tulsa. The defense stands tall, goes 3 and out, and they get the ball back to their offense.
Nearly got to the punt. Backing up the return man who signals for a fair catch around the 10. 53-yard punt.
Timeout on the field.
Angus Davies, Oklahoma. He's Ligier Duzable. I'm James Westling. 28-7, Tulsa leads by 21. This is the 3rd time tonight that UAPB has started inside their own 20-yard line. Hagans after play action. Big gainer to Kenji Lewis. On the slant, picture perfect throw, and he's out to the 35. That's a 23-yard pickup.
Nice job by Makai Hagans right there. That's an RPO, run pass option. He had the opportunity to potentially hand the ball off to Jonas Davis. The offensive line is blocking like it's a run. Then he hits Kenji Lewis on a slant in stride for a big gain on 1st down.
Davis up the gut, sprinting to the angle. Davis showing off his escapability. He picks up 11. That's 34 yards on the last 2 plays for the Golden Lions.
And James, that's the 2nd or 3rd time that Jonas Davis, it's muddy up inside, cuts to the outside right here. DeMarco Jones has a chance. Woo! Now you see me, now you don't. Gets a big 1st down run. Talked about it, 30-plus yards on 2 plays. If you're the Pine Bluff offense, you like this momentum. Let's see if they can keep it going and cut this lead down.
Davis is averaging 6.5 yards per carry tonight. Still a ton of time. We're just underway in the 2nd half. Tulsa had all the momentum. They rattled off 28 straight.
He's like, no, I didn't.
Davis trying to pull through tacklers. Sleds to the 49. How about the fight and the effort from this UAPB team? They're not laying down by any means.
At all, and that's what Coach Alonzo Hampton talked about, right? He wants his team to come out, play with energy, come out and compete. He said this game isn't going to define their season, right, in the SWAC. So he wants his players to hang it loose, go out there, play for each other, right? Don't let your teammate and your brother down. And he's, this Pine Bluff offense and defense, they just continue to fight.
Longest drive of the night so far on this series for UAPB. Hagans, that was an offline snap, and it leads to a sack. Ben Kopinski has been all over the place tonight for this Tulsa defense.
Oh, no, looks like Makai Hagans might have got banged up on that play.
Timeout for an injury to an offensive player.
Hagans 10 for 21 tonight. He's managed this offense at a high level. That was a 7-yard sack. The backup is Jalen Macon, redshirt freshman from Nashville, Tennessee. We'll take a quick break while they look at quarterback Makai Hagans. Here's that last play. Hagans on the right side of your screen. He comes out after the injury. And it's Jalen Macon who will enter the game, the redshirt freshman who did play some last year. He got injured. He was the backup to start the season to quarterback Skylar Perry. He played in 4 games, so he was still able to maintain that redshirt. And he drops to throw on 3rd and 14. Pretty good looking ball to the sideline. It's caught by Kenji Lewis for a first down. How about that throw? Thrown into the fire.
Talk about ice in your veins. 3rd and 14, James. Comfortable in the pocket. Good job by the offensive line. Ben Kapinski with a little rush right there. But nice job by Jalen Macon finding Kenji Lewis on a deep out route on a big play on 3rd and 14.
21-yard drop in the bucket. Quick throw to Lewis, setting up the screen, cuts it back inside. He's met by tacklers at the 35. UAPB, remember, Lige, they had a really impressive drive at the end of the second quarter, right before halftime that stalled. This is something they can build off of.
James, we talked about UAPB continuing to fight, even down by 3 scores, and they put a nice drive here together. And when we talked to Coach Alonzo Hampton, he said we might see both quarterbacks now. I know they weren't banking on the starting quarterback, Mekhi Higgins, going down, but again, Jalen Macon coming in on 3rd and 14, comfortable in the pocket, 2 big completions.
Trying to avoid a sack. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mitchell Colkin had him by the ankles. No gain, and it's 3rd down. We'll call it 7.
And he actually does a really good job there, eluding a couple tacklers and getting 1 yard on that 2nd down pass play.
He looks like a quarterback that he's played some football, played in 4 games a season ago. How hard is it to come in fresh off the bench, a game like this? You haven't played since basically last September, and to look this polished.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that is, you said it, James, he played last year, right? And talking to Coach Alonzo Hampton, they said he had a really good camp. They were excited for both of these quarterbacks to get some playing time. Again, they weren't banking on Mekhi Higgins going down, but Jalen Macon has looked good this drive.
Number 51, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
A little rust there between the center and the quarterback. Rolando Jones called for the false start. That's the first penalty, though, on this UAPB offensive line. Both of these teams have been penalty-free tonight. That's only the 3rd on the Golden Lions. Tulsa, they only have 2 penalties. First game of the year, new head coaches on both sidelines. We'll be happy with that. 3rd and 11. Macon sandwiched, trying to fight forward. Ben Kapinski, as well as Ostrowski, Colkin, all those guys in on the tackle.
James, I talked about it before on 3rd and 14. He was comfortable in the pocket. Right here, he has a good pocket. Just stay there. No need to jump into that hole yet. It's 3rd and long, right? So you need long developing routes. Right there, Christian Love, the right tackle, does a really good job. He can't see where the quarterback is. His quarterback, Jalen Macon, steps up into that B gap, and Ben Kapinski makes him pay and gets a big sack. Helps this Tulsa defense get off the field on 3rd down.
That was his 10th tackle
With
of the
the helmet off, please reset the game clock. It's 6 minutes, 47 seconds, 6:47.
And Kapinski listed as number 21 on the initial roster. He's wearing number 0 because Tulsa has a thing where jersey number 0 goes to the player that earned it most in camp. Darren Ray was voted to be number 0. He said, hey, I like number 1. I've been wearing 1 since I got here. Let's give it to the next guy, and it was Kapinski who gets to wear that big O for this year.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field after a 29-yard punt. Tulsa on top by 3 scores. Tulsa's had some fantastic receivers over the years. Drew Pearson, Steve Largent. Tonight it's been Marquise Shoulders, 3 catches, a $113, 2 touchdowns. They'll keep it on the ground, 1st and 10. Anthony Watkins picks up just a yard. Didn't play last year for Tulsa. Has a 7-yard per carry average, though, over the course of his 22 career games. Shoulders, pretty good yards per catch average, 37. An 80-yard touchdown will certainly help those numbers. Jackson straight ahead for 3.
It's another big 3rd down for this Pine Bluff defense. They were able to get off the field last time. It was the first time they actually slowed Cardell Williams down. Let's see if they can get some pressure off the edge from one of their front 4 guys. Kendarius Clark made a big play earlier.
Williams bouncing around in the pocket. Finds his target. The 28-yard line. Shoulders with his 4th grab of the night. It's good for a 1st down.
Yeah, has a real connection with Marquis' shoulders. He does a really good job in the pocket. Good job by the offensive line, too, right? Pine Bluff defense doesn't blitz right there. It's a four-man rush. The offensive line does a good job. Give Cardell Williams some times. Marquis' shoulder finds him on an in-breaking route for a first down.
That was a gain of 11. Ford plowing ahead. Jordan Ford has run hard tonight. Gain of 9. He's inching closer to 100 yards, up to 91 tonight on 16 carries.
He's one with purpose. He's one really physical, and then when anything is muddied up in the inside, he's bounced the ball really well.
Williams keeps it. Swung down by Rico Dozier. Jordan Ford has a career high tonight with those 91 yards on the ground.
When we talked to offensive coordinator Steve Spurrier Jr., you know, his background is the Mike Leach system, right? They don't even try to run the football. He said that's not going to happen with this team. You know, with Kevin Wilson coming from Ohio State and Oklahoma, we're going to run the ball. We're going to be multiple. We're going to get in different personnel groups, but we're going to do what we do well.
Williams, jump ball. Caught. They rule it incomplete. Devin Williams, the freshman, went up high to try to bring it down. And that is the first incompletion of the night for the redshirt freshman Cardell Williams.
And what a play by Devin Williams tracking this ball. I actually thought Kyle Knox was going to go up and get the ball kind of like a punt. But did he have control of that when his right cheek hit the ground? They might review that. That might be a catch.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
And James, as a defensive back, that is one of the scariest positions to be in, right? Because you're backpedaling. Again, it's almost like catching a punt in the air. Now, the receiver is running towards the ball, and they're better at tracking the football because they do it on a daily. You saw it right there. Devin Williams went up and high-pointed that pass while Kyle Knox was backpedaling and almost hoping the ball fell into his hands. You see it right here, how Kyle Knox looks like he's kind of out of position, but Devin Williams does a really good job getting that right hand up. And I believe that's going to be a catch. It looks like that right cheek might have hit in bounds. So that's a great job by Devin Williams, tracking the football, going to get it at his high point, and then being able to come down with the ball inside before going out of bounds. It looks like that right cheek is down. If he had control of that, that's the catch.
Cardell Williams, if this gets overturned and it's a catch, he's 12 for 12. Over 200 yards. On paper, he's been perfect. And you look at Kevin Wilson, the new coach here at Tulsa, all the success he's had with quarterbacks, dating back to even when he was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. Sam Bradford threw for over 50 touchdowns in 2008 on that Oklahoma team that got to the national championship game. All the great quarterbacks he's had at Ohio State the last 6 years, all of their stats have just been absolutely incredible. And Cardell Williams, once again, this is a redshirt freshman coming in.
You wouldn't know it, James, the way he's playing, right? And Kevin Wilson and Steve Spurrier Jr. have done a really good job in putting them in positions to make plays, to find open receivers. Right there, one-on-one situation with Devon Williams and Kyle Knox. The receiver goes up and makes a play for his young quarterback, and that's what you need when you have a young quarterback in the backfield, making, I want to say it wasn't his first start, but being able to play after your starting quarterback goes down. So if you're Kevin Wilson, you have to be really excited how your backup quarterback, Cardell Williams, has played.
If this gets overturned, he's 12 for 12. The Tulsa record for consecutive completions in a game is 15 by Billy Guy Anderson back in 1965 when Tulsa took down Colorado State.
Looking
he's inching closer to that.
So looking at our view, James, it looks like Devin Williams had control of that ball, came down with it inbounds before going out of bounds. So I do believe this will be overturned. And what do you say? The record is 15 for 15 to start a game is the record. Cardell Williams is itching closer to that record.
Will he throw it 15 times?
I believe so, because if this, Pine Bluff defense does a good job, like they did right there, right on first and second down, being able to hold them to minimal gains, then you have to put the ball in the air. And Cardell Williams has been cool, calm, and collective in third down, being able to find open receivers.
Here we go.
After further review, the receiver completed the catch at the 21-yard line. First down.
There you have it. Cardell Williams still perfect.
Again, great job by Devin Williams, high pointing that ball and tracking it. He went up with his right hand and was able to trap it with the left hand, fully outstretched, and then being able to come in bounds before going out of bounds. That's a heck of a play for a freshman receiver, helping out his freshman quarterback.
Williams to Williams, freshman to freshman, both redshirted a season ago. How about those numbers? Tulsa just outside of the red zone. Watkins trying to keep his balance. Brought down inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Watkins so hard to tackle when he gets downhill. That's an 18-yard gain.
Good job by the offensive line, but Javon Gray kind of quick swam the center and opened up that gap for Anthony Watkins, and he almost scampers into the end zone.
Watkins again. Inside the 1. It'll bring up 2nd and goal. Here's that previous play, that run.
See right there, he gets up the field on the guard, actually. That was actually number 9, named Cameron Rutherford. He opens up that A gap for Anthony Watkins, and he almost takes it all the way into the end zone.
2nd and goal from inside the 1. Ford powering in, touchdown Tulsa. First touchdown of the night for Jordan Ford, who's close to 100 yards on the ground. Tulsa's scored the last 34 points unanswered.
What a physical run right there by Jordan Ford. He gets downhill, and Timon Akins is unblocked, but he wanted it more. He found a way to get into the end zone, lowered his shoulder. Nice contact by both guys, but Jordan Ford is able to run him over essentially and get into the end zone.
Longest drive of the night for Tulsa. 9 plays, 88 yards. Took 3:23 off the clock. 35-7, our new score in favor of the home team. Well, it was a shaky start for the Golden Hurricane, but they're clicking now.
Yeah, this offensive line has imposed its will. Again, Jordan Ford, we talked about earlier, James. He's run with purpose. He's run physical, and you saw her right there. Him getting downhill, Timon Akins is unblocked. He just wanted it more. He's able to fight his way. What a gritty run to get into the end zone for a touchdown.
And he's having some fun after the score. Coach has told us they love his decisiveness. A lot of guys want to dance and make it look pretty, but Jordan Ford, he's a guy that if there's an opening, he's going for it.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier with offensive coordinator Steve Spurrier Jr. He said they kind of got a lightning and thunder backfield, right? Bill Jackson's more of the lightning. You see it right there. Jordan Ford is definitely the thunder. He's run, again, with purpose. He's run physical and does a great job on that last drive, being able to finish a physical run and get into the end zone.
Has a career high tonight. 17 carries, a new high, and 92 yards. Also a career best. Meyer lets it go. And UAPB will signal for a fair catch to bring it out to the 25.
James, if you're head coach Alonzo Hampton right now, this is where you evaluate the tape, right? Which guys are still going to go out there and fight? He talked about that with us in his meetings earlier. He was like, this game's not going to decide our season, right? But I want the players to go out there and play for their teammates, right? Don't let your brother down. Continue to fight. Go out there, compete. He talked about competing for one play, one series, the entire game. So this Pine Bluff team has not quit, and I don't think they will. They're going to continue to go out here and fight.
Jalen Macon is the quarterback after Higgins got dinged up on that last series. He remains sideline. Cutback run for Davis. And Davis, he's had a really nice night on the ground for the Golden Lions. That's an 11-yard gain. He's up to 72 yards this evening.
We talked about Jordan Ford, the running back on the other side, but Jonas Davis has run the ball really well too. In the open field, he's made safeties miss. When it's been muddy up inside, he's got on the edge and had explosive runs. He continues to fight play in and play out.
Davis again, looking to get the outside, and he's chopped down by Reggie Ellis. Ellis has a new position this year. They moved him from cornerback to safety.
And that's a nice open field tackle because Jonas Davis has made a few safeties miss on the edge. Right here, again, it's muddy up inside. He gets to the outside. Ellis does a good job filling that hole, being able to get Jonas Davis down. Nice wrap tackle to hold him to minimal gain.
2nd and 10. Davis shoots up the middle, and he's stacked up. This is a UAPB team that over the last 2 seasons have gone 5-17, brought in a new coach in Alonzo Hampton. They'll be a tough out in the SWAC. This looks like a team that they'll win some games in that conference.
Yeah, Coach Hampton talked about that, right? Getting a UAPB back to prominence, right? That's what he wants to do. He wanted to come in, have his players play with a lot of energy, and he was like, why not us? Why can't we compete for the SWAC year in and year out? When I was a coach earlier in my career at UAPB, we did compete in the SWAC, and he wants to get them back to prominence.
Macon has the first down. Now they'll mark him out just shy of the 45 at the 44-yard line. Was trying to stretch the nose of the football forward to pick up those extra couple of yards.
It looks like he's going to leave the offense on the field, which I agree with, right? You're right around midfield. You're down by double digits. Jalen Macon is an athletic quarterback. Almost got the first down right there. If he doesn't see something open right away, he can use his athletic ability and potentially get the first down with his legs.
Alonzo Hampton coached as an assistant at UAPB, started as a volunteer coach, was driving an hour each way. Back in 2006, he was at UAPB from 06 to 2010.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're first of the half, 30 seconds.
UAPB, they were competing for SWAC championships back then. He knows it can be done. They call a timeout to think about 4th and 2.
Yeah, and talking about Coach Alonzo Hampton, it's almost like a full circle moment, him getting the head coaching job at UAPB. You talked about it. He coached there earlier, right? He was a volunteer coach, James. You talked about it. He drove 60 to 90 miles a day back and forth until he was a full-time staff member. The coach that was currently there, Moore Forte, told him, you're going to be eventually the head coach of this team. And when he said it, he was like, Coach, what are you talking about? So when they called him and asked him, because he's from Arkansas, right? He was like, of course I want to be head coach. It was already foretold to me by my ex-head coach that I would be the head coach. So it was a full circle moment for him getting that call to be the head coach of Pine Bluff.
We asked him about some of his coaching mentors. He brought up Coach Forte. He brought up Willie Taggart, who he traveled with all over USF and then Oregon and Florida State. But also Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs now. Coach Hampton was an intern with the Philadelphia Eagles when Spags was there. And you played for Spags as well.
I did with the New York Giants. A little bit surprised he called timeout. Coach Hampton called timeout, and they're going to punt the football.
Benjamin signals for a fair catch back at the 15.
But talking about Coach Spagnuolo, like Coach Hampton said that this guy is a mentor for him. He says, James, he calls him every year. And even when he got this job, he called him. He coached him when he played in NFL Europe. He coached with him when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles as an intern. So he's kept in contact with him. And one thing about Spags is he's a great defensive-minded coach, a great defensive coordinator. And you can see some of the energy that maybe he learned from Spags, because Coach Hampton has a lot of energy, and so does Coach Spags when he's on the sideline. I was able to play for him for 2 years in the NFL.
Was he hard on you?
He's hard on everybody. He's hard on everybody. He demands that you give it your all, and rightfully so. You saw that defense really come together for the Chiefs last year on their Super Bowl run.
Right. What he's done in Kansas City has been remarkable. That defense was bottom of the league before he took over. Under a minute left in the third quarter. Bill Jackson wiggles out across the 20. It's a gain of 5, setting up second down. Final half minute of this third quarter. How many times will Tulsa put it in the air in the fourth to see if Cardell Williams can match or beat that record of 15 consecutive completions? He's 12 for 12 tonight. That record has been standing since 1965. Jackson nosedives to the 31.
Well, if Bill Jackson and Jordan Ford continue to run the football like this, you might be right, James. He might not have to put the ball in the air. Because these running backs have run with purpose, and they've run really well ever since the second quarter began.
The third quarter.
Heading to the fourth quarter, fresh set of downs for Tulsa to work with when we come back. EB led 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Since then, it's been all Tulsa, and there's the 13th straight completion for quarterback Cardell Williams. The record here at TU is 15. He hits Marquise Shoulders, who's been his favorite target tonight. That's his 5th catch.
James, we wondered if Cardell Williams would drop back and throw the ball up 35-7. But you got to think about it. This is a young quarterback that doesn't have many reps. So if you're Kevin Wilson and Braylon Braxton is going to be out for the foreseeable future, and we don't know what his health status is, you want to get those reps from Cardell Williams.
Braylon Presley gets his first touch of the ball game. The heralded transfer from Oklahoma State, 2-time Oklahoma Player of the Year in high school.
Timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
It's Kyrie Williams in the secondary, who's had a really good game for UAPB.
Looks like it could be a cramp because he hopped up pretty quick. Talking about Braylon Presley, that's the first time he carried the football. They've lined him up in the slot. When we talked to Coach Kevin Wilson and offensive coordinator Steve Spurrier Jr., they said they're going to use him all over the place. He's their Swiss Army knife. I don't believe he has a catch today, but you saw him on that carry right there, how explosive he can be.
Williams has 4 tackles tonight, all of them solo stops for UAPB as he hobbles off to the sideline. But good to see Presley get a touch. Came in to camp 151 pounds. He's added about 20 pounds of muscle. Williams scanning and he misfires. Looking for Camden Benjamin. And the streak is over. 13 in a row. It comes to a halt. The record was 15. Williams now 13 for 14.
Yeah, and he was probably looking for Connor Vaughn in the flat right there on that bootleg. It was covered well by the Pine Bluff defense. I honestly thought he was going to keep the ball and run it, but he tries to find his receiver going across the middle. And like you said, James, the streak is now over.
That completion percentage just plummeted to 93% through the air. Let's take one more look at that last throw. Who's this one on, Lige?
See, he wants Connor Vaughn in the flat. He's not there. So he checks his tight end coming across the middle, and the ref gets in the way a little bit right there, throws off the timing, and Cardell Williams has his first incompletion of the game.
So it's on the ref. It's the ref's fault. 3-yard gain for Presley on the outside.
Cardell Williams is like, ref, get out of the way. What are you doing? But yeah, it messed up the timing of that pass play when the receiver bumped into the ref.
Did you ever have refs get in your way when you were playing? You were a defensive end.
It's tough, yeah. I'm in the trenches, so
right.
Now pursuing the ball,
dropping into coverage a whole lot.
A little bit. Like pursuing the ball, I've run into a ref once before, but not too many times in the trenches was a ref down there.
You ran into him when you were going after a running back.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 12 men breaking the huddle. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Did you take him out?
No, it was like a little bump because thank God I saw him. A lot of times you don't see him because you're focusing on the ball carrier. But I saw him, so it was a little bump. And I was on the backside pursuing, so we both kind of chuckled after the play.
4th down.
Timeout.
UAPB.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're sticking to the half.
Coach Hampton does not look pleased with that timeout.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah, Tulsa had too many men on the field, and I'm not sure if UAPB right there on punt return didn't have enough men on the field because if you know Coach Hampton, he has a special teams background. So you stated, James, he was not happy calling timeout on that 4th down.
Saturday, it's an AAC football tripleheader on ESPNU. Start your day at noon Eastern with SMU hosting Louisiana Tech, and then followed by Cal at North Texas at 4 Eastern. Then end your day with number 24 Tulane's home opener versus South Alabama. All 3 games are on ESPNU and the app. Cardell Williams has been the quarterback most of the night for Tulsa. Braylon Braxton is wearing a boot on the sideline. Left the game after the 3rd series with a lower leg injury. They tried taping the left ankle. He threw 2 interceptions on the first 2 Tulsa series. The redshirt freshman Cardell Williams nearly had a Tulsa record for consecutive completions. The punt. UAPB will field this. We're angled towards the sideline. The return man was Fletcher. Williams with the tackle.
Timeout.
45-yard punt, 4-yard return. We'll see UAPB when we come back from this timeout. Currently on ESPN Plus, UAB leads North Carolina A&T 28-6. Trent Dilfer, the new coach at UAB. Some other games this weekend: SMU, Louisiana Tech, Michigan, East Carolina, Rice plays Texas. Davis dancing, hopping, pushing his way towards the 20. South Florida, Western Kentucky, Lige, of these 6, what jumps out to you?
I think the Rice versus Texas. JT Daniels, a transfer, is going to Rice, right? And they're playing Texas. That could potentially be a pretty good game. I like what Trent Dilfer has done already in his first game as head coach at UAB, up 28-6 versus North Carolina A&T.
2nd and 3. Macon finds Davis. And Colkin is there to bottle him up right at the marker. Here's some other games. Callan, North Texas is intriguing to me. Tom Herman, the new coach at FAU. Florida Atlantic plays Monmouth. Charlotte, new coach there, Bill Pogge. Also, how about UTSA and Houston? Out with the old, in with the new there in that matchup.
Yeah, I like that matchup. That was a shootout last year at UTSA. Frank Harris comes back, a highly touted quarterback. You talked about it, right? Houston left the American, went to the Big 12, and UTSA joined the American Conference. That will be a really good game on Saturday.
Sweep toss to Davis, trying to get to the corner. Tulsa is all over it. Colkin again in on the play. Leger, do you have a dark horse title contender in the American Conference?
Yes, I actually be calling their game Saturday. FAU Owls, Tom Herman, the new head coach. I believe they have the most returning players in the American Conference coming back this year, even though they weren't in the American last year. But as far as having experience, they have a ton of it. New quarterback Casey Thompson, who's very familiar with Tom Herman, was with him at the University of Texas. So I believe they were rated in preseason poll 4 or 5 to finish the American Conference. They're one of my dark horse teams.
Backwards pass, he can throw it. Downfield, it's incomplete, but a flag is out. Some trickeration from UAPB draws 2 flags on their sideline.
And Nunu Campbell has done a really good job in man coverage right there. Panicked a little bit.
Pass interference, number 13, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
It was a double pass. You see him right here tugging at the receiver. Doesn't get that head around. The ref is going to call that 10 out of 10 times. Now, there's some hand fighting going on, but if he had got his head around, not only did he not get his head around, he ran into the receiver, Javon Williams. They're going to call that every time, James.
Flag is on Nunu Campbell. First down, UAPB. UAPB, they've gone over 200 yards, 222 yards tonight. They only have 3 penalties. They have 17 first downs. They've done some good things.
False start, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Calvin Lester III, the left guard. How would you say, outside of just that penalty there, bad timing for my question, but the offensive line, coach said it was really their foundation for success. How would you say they've held up against a team from a really strong conference?
They've held up really well, except for in 3rd and long situations, which you don't want to be in as an offensive line when that defensive line can really pin its ears back. Ben Kopinski has had a really good day coming off the edge and creating some pressure. But as far as opening lanes for Jonas Davis and protecting their quarterbacks, Mekhi Higgins and Jalen Macon, they've done a really good job.
Kevin English makes the catch, a gain of 9. Dane Hodge, the stopper for Tulsa. Second and 6, UAPB. Bacon hits Davis, and Davis hit at the ribs by Colkin. These Tulsa linebackers really piling up the tackles tonight between Colkin. Got Julian Simon that's had a good game. To Darren Ray from his safety position. Then Ben Kopinski's been the star on the defensive line.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Chris Polisi right there brings that pressure. And Mitchell Colkin has Jonas Davis in man-on-man coverage. That's a good job getting to his assignment and stopping Davis from getting that first down.
3rd and 1. Davis cuts the corner, has the first down, and he darts out of bounds close to midfield. 7-yard gain. UAPB with their 18th first down tonight. Coach Hampton told us their goal is to get 2 first downs in every possession. Even though they only have 7 points, they have a lot of possessions where they've accomplished that.
And that was a nice job by the right tackle, Courtney Van Buren, on the edge, blocking that right defensive end out. And then again, Jonas Davis has had great vision today, right? Muddied up inside, is able to bounce outside and get a 3rd down rush for a first down.
Stuffed on this play, a loss of 2. Colkin, as well as King Ani, in on the stop for the Tulsa defense.
And right now you see that Tulsa defense rotating in some young players, and this is pivotal experience for some of these young players. We saw it already, right? Braylon Braxton goes down with an injury, and football's 100% injury rate. You got to have some of your young guys get some reps, so when they're called upon, they're ready to go later on in the season.
Macon gallops out of bounds. Let's take a look at that American preseason. This is the media poll. Tulane, a sensational season last year. UTSA, they're probably preseason pick too high to call them a sleeper. I like that UTSA team. But what are your thoughts on just 1 through 14 as this league gets a little bit bigger too?
Well, we know how Coach Pogge feels from Charlotte, right? At the American Media Day, they were picked last and nobody asked him questions at the Media Day. But I really like that FAU team. I know we talked about that earlier. Tom Herman, they have a lot of experience coming back, 1,000-yard running back coming back. Casey Thompson, who has a lot of experience. They got some receivers on the outside that can really go as well. And we know Tom Herman, his background is offense, right? He's going to have an explosive offense. They have corners that are willing to tackle. I think they can be a sleeper in this American Conference.
4th down for UAPB. What's interesting is Tulsa brings in Kevin Wilson, who is the offensive coordinator the last 6 seasons at Ohio State. It's an Ohio State offense. And then you have Biff Pogge, who takes over that Charlotte program and comes from Michigan, and he'll be installing the Michigan offense. So you have kind of some of that Big Ten blood in the American.
Timeout on the field.
33-yard punt, timeout on the field. Halfway through this 4th quarter, it's all Tulsa. Time now for our player of the game, brought to you by Geico, proud partner of the American. And tonight it's a no-brainer, Cardell Williams.
3 touchdowns, another rushing touchdown, 13 of 14, 233 yards. After that first drive, James, he was real comfortable in the pocket, knew where to go with the football, and his playmakers on the outside made plays for him. We saw Devon Williams go up, right, in one-on-one coverage, track the ball, come down with a big catch. But Cardell Williams, if you're Kevin Wilson, the head coach, you have to be excited for your young quarterback to come out here, not expecting to play at all, and play as efficient as he has.
Ford on the outside goes over 100 yards tonight with that carry on his 18th rushing attempt. He's been solid on the ground. This Tulsa offensive line was a real Achilles heel for them last season at times. They struggled to run the football. They were 127th in the country in sacks allowed, 45 sacks given up a season ago. How much better do they look this year?
A lot better, and I think people tend to forget their left tackle, Kyleon Herbert, was hurt in the first game versus Wyoming and missed the rest of the year. So he comes back and he's fresh, transferred from Miami. He played really well tonight. A lot of veterans up front. 3 of the 4 guys that were starters last year they came back this year. So now you talk about continuity on the offensive line, even though it's a new coaching staff. So the Tulsa offensive line played really well. We asked Coach Wilson about that. I was like, is this the group that you kind of lead on as a leadership group? And he was like, yes, Braylon Braxton is the leader of this team, but this offensive line, they are the leaders of this offense.
They are creating huge holes for guys like Anthony Watkins. Watkins sprinting up the sideline, a big gain for the Tulsa offense, 27 on the ground.
Nice job by this Tulsa offensive line. We just talked about them. They got some of the backups in, but nice job on this stretch play, pulling the guard and center around. And Watkins does a good job having patience, following them, getting to the outside and having an explosive run.
Arkansas Pine Bluff, their third and final and a half. 30 seconds. Correction, media timeout.
Media timeout, that's us. We'll take a break. Tulsa on top 35-7. Offense, third quarterback we've seen tonight for the Golden Hurricane. Played in 2 games a season ago. Junior from Decatur, Texas. Throws it, Jackson on the receiving end. And Jackson's inside the 30. Bottled up by Kyle Knox and Marcus Askew. Look at what Tulsa's done since that first quarter. It was a slow start, to say the least. That might be the understatement of the century for Tulsa. They had 3 turnovers in that first quarter. There were 4 combined turnovers between these two teams in the first 16 plays from scrimmage, but since then, they've been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, James, sloppy play in the first quarter by both teams. Tulsa turning the ball over 3 times. And we actually talked to Coach Wilson about that, right? Because they were -2 in the turnover margin. He said, you want to come out, execute, play clean football, don't turn the football over. But this is what happens sometimes in the first game, right? You haven't been hit by other guys, haven't been tackled to the ground. We saw a fumble on a kick return. We saw the quarterback late on some throws, those interceptions, but they were able to galvanize together and come back. And Cardell Williams played a heck of a game from the second quarter on.
That was a 13-yard pickup on that last play by Anthony Watkins. How about Tulsa on the ground, averaging almost 6 yards per carry, up to 250 yards rushing.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Steve Spurrier Jr. said, we're going to run the football, right? And if you look at Kevin Wilson and where he's come from, Ohio State, there are multiple personnel groups. We saw a lot of 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets. They want to establish the run game, right? So they did a really good job of doing that with Bill Jackson and Jordan Ford. And Cardell Williams, when he needs to use his legs, he did that as well.
Watkins sets up shop, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. There's Braylon Braxton, the starter for Tulsa tonight, hobbled. After that 3rd series, you can see him still limping. Watkins between the tackles. Nowhere to go. Braylon Braxton, they were working on an ankle after that 3rd series, tried to tape it, couldn't go. He's in a boot. So we saw Cardell Williams, the redshirt freshman, come in. He's gone 13 for 14 for 233 yards with 3 touchdowns and no picks. Toss to Watkins, puts his head down and he's shoved out of bounds. Sam Anthony able to force him out.
Nice job by Sam Anthony on that toss play, beating the blocker to the edge and being able to get a tackle for loss on Watkins. But talking about Braylon Braxton earlier, we kind of discussed when they were trying to spat his ankle up on the sideline, James. I wondered, right, because it was after he threw that 2nd interception on that long out route across the field, and he was late with it. I was wondering, could he maybe not push off that ankle, and that's why he was late with the football.
9th play of this drive. Fuller wants to spin it, has a man, touchdown Tulsa. Bain Tryon with his 1st career touchdown. And Tulsa leads 41-7 with the extra point pending.
Nice play design by Steve Spurrier Jr. right there. You got a tight bunch set. You run the receiver up the field, and you bring Tryon underneath. Nice job by Roman Fuller hitting him in stride. Then he gets to the end zone for a touchdown.
9-play, 81-yard drive, took 4:16 off the timer. Point after, Meyer's been perfect all night. 3 and change left. Tulsa 42, UAPB 7. Fuller Tryon trying the end zone. Throwback Golden Hurricanes jersey. I like that gold. How about you, Lige?
That's clean, but did you see the kicks to match it? She's swagged out there.
There they are.
Yeah.
I see them now.
Some J's on. Okay.
I like it. Look, you got some J's on right now too, right?
I do. You know to match the suit.
I like it. Those are clean as well. 42-7, Tulsa leads. Ensuing kick. UAPB signaling for a fair catch. Cardell Williams has been the star tonight for Tulsa, 13 of 14, 233, 3 touchdowns. Jordan Ford over 100 yards. Real quick, Lige, how about balance from Tulsa? 515 yards. They have 258 on the ground and 257 through the air.
It doesn't get more balanced than that, James. And if you're Kevin Wilson, his offenses have been balanced. When he was at Ohio State, when he was at Oklahoma, right? They ran the football, and they were able to attack teams down the field. And they did that today with Cardell Williams, and then ran the ball really well with Jordan Ford and Billy Jackson. So it was a rocky start for this Tulsa team, but I think Kevin Wilson will like how his team bounced back and handled adversity.
On 1st and 10, UAPB going deep into their backfield. Dante Burton makes the tackle. B.J. Curry on the carry for the Golden Lions.
And I talked about Tulsa, you know, some of their young guys getting some playing time right now because you never know what's going to happen, you know, in the future as far as players getting dinged up. This will be some good experience, too, for UAPB and some of their young guys playing. They've switched out some offensive line pieces. You talked about them going deep in the running back group with Curry right there carrying the football. So these are valuable reps for young guys who potentially they're going to really need later on in the season.
Curry gets swung down on the play. Here's a look at UAPB's upcoming schedule. It's the toughest one on the slate. Tennessee State coming up next, and then Miles at Alabama A&M. That'll be an ESPNU broadcast. Jackson State will be a big game for them, but this is a team that they will definitely be better than their 3-8 record, what they had a season ago.
I think Alonzo Hampton has got this team in the right direction, right? Talked about playing with energy. This team never quit even when they were down big. He's got some valuable playing time for some young guys. And in that first half, man, they look like they could potentially pull off an upset. So you talked about it, James. They should be a lot better in the SWAC. That Jackson State game will be big. We saw what Jackson State did to South Carolina State the other day. But if you're Alonzo Hampton, for the first half, you have to really like how your team came out, right? 3 turnovers. The offense put one into the end zone. Now they stalled after that, and Mekhi Hagens got hurt. A few drop passes really hurt them in this game. But they ran the ball really well. Jonas Davis had nearly 800 yards and played really good.
Some other games tonight. Week 1, Thursday night action across the ESPN family of networks. Utah leads Florida 24-11. You're surprised by that?
I'm not, actually. I knew Cam Rising potentially maybe not play, but I just thought Utah was too deep of a team, and Florida is almost in a rebuild right now. I felt like the experience that Utah had would put them over the edge, and it looks like it did today.
Tulsa leads 42-7. 44 seconds left. Tulsa schedule upcoming. They play at Washington next Saturday. Be interesting to see who will be at quarterback these next 2 games. It is tough at Washington and then Oklahoma at home. At Northern Illinois is going to be a tough game. NIU will be out for revenge after how last year's contest went between those 2 teams here. And then it's into American play with Temple in early October. Tulsa's cleared the bench. Brought in Stephen Kittleman at quarterback. 4th Tulsa quarterback to take a snap tonight with a half-minute to go. But what are your thoughts, Lige, just on the current state of the American? I know you played at UCF. They move on to the Big 12. The American loses 3 powerhouses, but they bring in 6 to make up for that.
Yeah, and if you look at the top right now, Tulane is ranked in the top 25. Michael Pratt is a really good quarterback. They did lose Tyjae Spears in the draft this past year. UTSA, right? They have, Harris at quarterback, an explosive offense as well. You like the addition of FAU, Charlotte coming in, UAB. So it's going to be a very competitive league, right? I think at the end of it, I think Tulane and UTSA are favored to win the conference. But don't sleep on teams like FAU, right? FAU, I think, can be a real dark horse in this conference.
Our game has gone final. Tulsa takes down Arkansas Pine Bluff 42-7. Quarterback Cardell Williams, who you see there, 13 for 14, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Both teams played a lot of guys, which both coaching staffs said that was the plan. 8 ball carriers for Tulsa tonight. And also, they spread the wealth on the receiving end. 8 different players caught passes for this Tulsa Golden Hurricane offense.
And that's what really impressed me by Cardell Williams. Yes, he obviously had a rapport with Marquise Shoulders, but he was able to spread the wealth around. Devon Williams, another freshman, had a couple catches in this game. Malachi Jones had a touchdown catch. I don't believe Braylon Presley had a catch, but they got him the ball in the backfield. So Camden Benjamin was really good in the return game and punt return. So Cardell Williams, for a redshirt freshman, to not just key in on one player, to be able to spread the wealth around, did a really good job for Tulsa tonight.
Tulsa finished with over 500 yards of total offense. They moved to 1-0 on the season with this 42-7 win over UAPB. Jordan Ford went over 100 yards, had 110 yards on the ground, 5.8 yards per carry. Anthony Watkins had 69 yards rushing. And then you mentioned Marquise Shoulders, 132 yards on the receiving end, 2 touchdowns. And how about this Tulsa defense? Several guys with double-digit tackles.
Yeah, the Tulsa defense really stood up, right? After giving up that touchdown early, there's a turnover, your back's against the wall in the red zone. That's what you want to do. You want to hold a team to 3. They don't do that, right? They give up the touchdown. But after that, James, they stifled this UAPB offense, right? Ben Kopinski had a really good game. Owen Ostrowski had a really good game. And you talked about the linebackers that were flying around.
And Tulsa's head coach, Kevin